Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Meet the Coaches. At Central Maine Community College, my name is Dave Gagne. I'm the college athletic director. I'm joined tonight by Bruce Robertson, the women's softball coach, his fourth year at CM, and Rod Rodriguez, the women's soccer coach, in his seventh year at CM. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming in. I'd like to talk a little bit tonight about your programs and a little bit how far you guys have come and how you got there and how you built your program. So Rob, let's start with you. You're kind of the oldest guy here. You've been here 7 years. Talk a little about the challenges of building a women's soccer program.
Okay. When I came in 2015, a typical situation where you have a coaching change, so you're in the position of having to rebuild a program. That's normal. So we started, when I began in the spring, we had 3 returning players and 3 recruited players going into preseason in August with 6 players. First game was 10 days away, and we needed to put a team on the field for that. So it was a challenge. I challenged the players to help with the recruiting process, and they were really amazing about it. Gave them some incentives for some hoodies, some Mustang hoodies, as they recruited players that stuck with the team. They got a hoodie, and we had a team on the field. And it was a first year effort for us. Our goal was to get through the season, but that bought us time to start recruiting. And that's where things really started to pick up, was that second year.
So from that second year on, that was kind of the really beginning of women's soccer.
Yeah.
So move from there to today, that's where you were. Where are you now?
Well, yeah, it was a culture change that we needed to start putting in place, which we started doing the second year. And what I mean by that is really getting the mindset of a college athlete. So not only recruiting players that were serious college players, but also changing the culture within strength and conditioning, dedication to that. That all began the second year, and that's the point at which we really started to take off. It still took some time. We struggled a little bit, but it was very obvious the team was progressing. Mid-season, our second time around with opponents, we were giving them much more of a challenge, and you could see the process building. In my third year, which was 2017, it progressed even further. The roster grew quite a bit, and from that point on, I would say from 2017 to now, we really haven't looked back. I mean, we've hit every goal we've set as a team, and we've been climbing through the conference, and I think we're positioned really, really well now.
Great. So Coach Robinson, let's talk a little bit about softball. When you arrived, the softball program was a little disarray. You had to rebuild everything. And now you've been at it 3 or 4 years. So tell us where you are today. How have you gotten from when you started to where you are today? What was that process like building that?
So today we are in a spot that I can be selective on who I want to bring in. When I very first started in 2017-18, we were very limited on numbers. We were relying on basketball, we were relying on soccer to help fill our program. And now we're in a spot where I can be selective on who we bring in. We bring in good athletes with dedication and good in the classroom, want to be here and want to play softball. So it's got to the point where not the average player will be playing here for us at CM.
So a couple of years in, we built a new facility. So a brand new complex with lights and turf. How's it impacted your program?
It's impacted it tremendously. We have started to land more and more out-of-state recruits, international recruits we're bringing in now, and the players are looking at the field when they come on tours, and it's just an eye-opener as you pull up the driveway. then when they step onto the turf, it's just an incredible sight. Their eyes open up, and it's something really big for the players and as well as mom and dad that come with them when they see the field.
Because we've got to convince them all, right? It's a family deal. Mom and dad have got to buy in as well. Coach Rodriguez, let's talk about kids, and tell us the kind of student athlete you're looking for to play for you right now.
Yeah, we really want, the first thing that I would want to look for is to make sure they're a good student, a very good student. Ultimately, it doesn't matter how well they can play if they can't survive in college. So they need to be good students. And we have, our team GPA is important to us. So we want players who are not only going to make an impact on the field, but we want players who are going to make an impact in the classroom, be standout students, and really be successful all around at CM here. So that's really what we're looking for. So yes, we're selective in who we take, but we're also selective in terms of the quality of the student too.
Sure. Softball. Is it hard to recruit in softball? Is it tough finding players?
Yes and no. Depends on what we're looking for players. If I really want to just fill a roster spot, it wouldn't be as difficult. But for the type of player like Coach was talking about, we want to bring student athletes that are well in the classroom. They excel on the field and excel as teammates, and just being supportive of each other. Then it makes it a little bit more difficult, just for the fact of there are so many colleges in Maine. So, and to get them to want to be here and to buy into our culture is sometimes can be challenging. But usually when we get players here, it makes things a little bit easier.
When they visit the campus and get the campus experience. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. This year we're talking about, as you both know, live streaming our games. What impact do you think they'll have on your programs? What's your start?
I think to be able to tell players that we're offering that parents can watch the games, from away, I think that's huge. It not only allows us to really focus in on out-of-state players, but I think it's a professionalism that is brought to the athletic program that I really think separates us from quite a few others.
What do you think?
For our program, I think it's going to be huge as far as I have a couple international players on the team, as well as some other players that live a couple hours away. So moms and dads won't always be able to make the trip, so they'll be able to see all the home games that we have live streamed and with the commentary.
So it's safe to say that in both your generations here, the program's really taken a major step. And
absolutely.
Tell us what you think would be the next major step, that your goal, what's next for you and your program? What's next?
Well, we, as a team, we want to be top of the conference, and we want to be consistently top of the conference and go beyond that. But the other aspect is we want to draw crowds. We want to draw the community into the games. We want the soccer games to be something that people choose to come see, not just family and friends of the players, but a community event. And I think we're headed in that direction, building up a fan base and really having people come out and enjoy watching the soccer game. And we're planning with that in mind in terms of the style of game that we play. We want that to be attractive to people that are watching.
Sure. Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for us, I've said it since I've got here, was I would love to win the conference. That's always a coach's dream and a player's dream. They want to win the conference, and then obviously if we can get to nationals, that's always the big step. Players that dream to go big and go to larger colleges want that larger atmosphere, and they want to excel. But I agree with Coach. Having local players and local families here is great, but it's nice to start bringing the outside, the younger generation that go, hey, I want to play there next. I want to be there next.
So it's safe to say at the beginning it was quantity over quality, and now it's quality over quantity. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, you need both. You need the numbers, but yes, now we're focused on the quality of player. So in the beginning, we just needed a foundation to attract players to. You have to have something to recruit them to. Now we have that foundation. We've had it now for a while, and now it's a matter of attracting the quality, which we've been doing that now, and that keeps going up and up and up. And we keep raising the bar. So the better the team does, the higher we raise the bar for the next group coming in, and we've seen that happen. Every recruiting class, I can safely say this is the best recruiting class we've ever had, because every year it is, and it keeps climbing from there, and I don't see that changing.
Well, let's talk just a little bit about that. Let's talk about your recruiting class. What's it look like?
For this year, my recruiting class is, we have between 7 and 8 players coming in. I still have a couple more on the hook, I think. I've got some really good pitchers coming in from across the state. Looks like we're going to have an international player coming from overseas
Who just committed
who had just committed today.
today, yeah?
Today, yeah. Infielder, outfielder, so that's going to be great for our program.
And her name is?
Nina Jensen.
And where's Nina from?
She's from Belgium.
The country of Belgium.
Yeah, so
Congratulations.
it's going to be a huge impact for our program. So.
Terrific. How about you, Coach?
Right now we have 12 incoming freshmen on board, roster size of 19 at the moment, but we're not finished recruiting. So we still have players that we are talking to, that we are working on bringing in, some in-state, some out-of-state. With a goal, we expect to be somewhere in the low to mid-20s in terms of roster size by the time preseason starts. We typically land additional players over the summer for various reasons, some transfers, some new. So we're sort of leaving room for that, but at the same time, we are focused on continuing to recruit players that have been on our recruiting list that are not committed yet.
So last question for both of you. If I'm a student athlete and I'm home right now watching this, and I'm thinking about I want to play college softball, I want to play college women's soccer. What advice would you have for those kids?
So for me, what my advice to somebody wanting to come play here, number one, be a good student. Number two, strength and conditioning is a big part of what we do. So while you may not be, some players are familiar with that, some are not in high school, but you must be willing to commit to that. You have to be able to commit to that. It's not easy. The season is a grind. They have to be prepared for that. It's more exhausting than what most players expect it to be. They have to be prepared for that. So athletically, need to be very good. Academically, need to be very good. That's what we're looking for. And we're at a point now where we can pick and choose and to add those qualities.
Coach?
Yeah, I agree with Coach. For softball at CM, we're a little bit unique. We have a fall season and a spring season where we play 20 plus games in the fall, 20 plus games in the spring. So for softball players, if you love softball, it's year round. We go from fall softball to winter workouts, right back into spring softball, and we start all over again with summer workouts, and it's like Coach said, it's a grind. You're a student athlete. Education comes first, but softball and the athletic side is the bonus side, and we want all the players to be strong in the classroom as well as being strong on the field. So if you want to come here, it's not as easy as it looks sometimes. You really gotta put your heart into it.
Terrific. So for those student athletes that are interested in playing softball at CM, women's soccer at CM, you can go on the athletic website, cmmustangs.com. And under this sport, you can fill out a questionnaire if you're interested in more information, and the coaches will get back to you. And that fits, by the way, with any sport you want to play at CM. But thanks very much, guys, and let's have a great season.
Thank you.
Thank you.